But she says that she came to slay, but she didn't come to slay like Liz came.
Liz came with it.
Liz
says, you know what?
All right, well, welcome back to the channel. My name is Kevin.
Yep,
this is Tarsha. And this is Conversations with the Crawleys, where we have conversations about everything, including faith, family, relationships, and even now we are discussing one of our favorite shows.
Yep.
Ready to love, right? So if this is content that you enjoy, content that you're looking for, make sure you hit that subscribe button. Make sure you are requesting notifications. Give us a few likes and definitely hit us up in the comments. We enjoy hearing what you guys have to say, getting all of your investigative work,
right?
Letting us know what's happening behind the scenes, under the scenes, around the bridge, all of that stuff. So let us know in the comments. We'll meet you in the comments, but we appreciate each and every one of you that tune in every time that we put one of these videos up. Thanks for subscribing to the channel.
Yep.
Ready to jump in?
Let's jump in.
All right. So I think this is week 4, I think.
I believe so.
So we start off the episode with AJ, Jason, Kyra, and Alexis going ice skating.
Yeah, they're getting together, you know, group dating. And this is the time that Jason admits.
He's like, look, I can't really see you as a lover because I see you as a mother.
Right. To someone he coached,
right,
correct?
Right, yes, so, let's clarify that.
Right. Obviously, she's a mother.
Right.
But he puts her in the zone with all other parents, right? Because I believe he's coming from the aspect that, you know, he's not trying to date the moms of the kids. He's focused on the kids and different things. And so he just can't get out of seeing her in that way.
That can get awkward, right? I mean, it could definitely get awkward especially if you do it once and then now you kind of open yourself up maybe from a kid's perspective or from a single parent perspective. There's a lot of different perspectives where now it's like you open the door once, maybe that's something that you do, you are open to doing.
Or maybe he never looked at her that way because he wasn't attracted. Right. You know, it's easier when you ain't attracted.
It is very easy.
I put you right in that mom thing real quick.
You'd be like, no, I'm good.
You're mom. But if you have like, oh wow, I wish I wasn't coaching your kid thing.
If your son wasn't on my team.
Right. I'll be getting that number right now. I'll be pulling off the application.
Okay.
So, but I think it just wasn't a good connection.
No.
And because they did know each other, she felt, you know, like, oh, he was attracted, but he couldn't reciprocate.
Right. And I'm glad it's a long time coming for that conversation.
Sure.
Because, you know, the body language was saying it.
Right.
Before he actually said the words, how he was handling her, how he was, you know, interacting with her, all of it said, yeah, I don't really see you in that respect.
Right. And I think that's important when you're dating. You know, maybe the guy is telling you one thing or the woman is telling you one thing. But if their body language is saying something else, I think that should be giving you some clues. Exactly.
And then AJ and Kyra, they kind of connected.
Yes.
And
I feel there's a connection there.
There's a connection there. It's for them, it's a second go round because they had a date that didn't go that well.
Correct.
The first date as far as before the show. But now
he said he dated everything.
Yeah, he said he was all over Houston.
All over it.
And we said that even in the first episode, and the first time that we did this video, said that, you know, it'd be interesting to see. So yes, we see that Kyra is one of those that came from his past that may be in his future. We'll see.
Right, because he said he was checking her out still. You know,
That's right. He said he was stalking her. He
didn't say he was stalking.
He said he was stalking her. Basically, he said, "I've been checking up on you," which means he been monitoring the Instagram on the low. He been checking that Facebook, that Twitter, whatever.
Obviously, for him to ask her on a date, he was interested in her.
Right.
And he, you know, so.
And no telling which, you know, they may have floated in the same circles.
Correct. Right. And he's like, okay, I see you. Now he gets the opportunity to redeem himself.
Exactly. And then we see Ron and Stacey go on a date. Well, Ron invites Stacey over to the house.
Correct.
And Ron does what David probably should have done in the last episode. He ordered food. Brothers, it's okay if you can't cook, order the food.
Hey, if you can do a good order, it's all about placement. Yes. Make sure it looks nice. Yeah. Put it on a plate. You can
put it on
keep
the fine. High, you can keep it on the nice plate, but
hey, just do it right.
Don't do the struggle plates. No struggle plates.
Presentation's everything.
Absolutely.
And so they're having this conversation, right? Mm-hmm. But the first thing Stacey wants to bring up is who is his number one. If I hear number one again, my God, this is getting too much with the number one. Who's your number one? Who's your number one?
Yeah.
I'm like, I feel like it's still early and there's still so many.
And it gives it almost a game show type feel because they keep using, I granted, because we've been watching from the beginning, right?
Right.
And so in the beginning, that, that conversation kind of came up, at least it seemed organically.
It
right?
did.
Now it's like every episode or every season now we're talking about, okay, who's your number one? Right. And yes, Tommy does mention that, who, trying to figure that out.
Right.
But I think it's still a little early for, as far as what we're seeing, it's still early for these dates to be like, oh, you're definitely the number one. Because we see KG, who we'll get to in a moment.
Sure.
But last season, he had a solid number one that turned out he was their zero, right?
Right.
So.
Right. So I think that, focus on your date.
Right.
Make the most of the time you're having with this person. Get to know them. But if the most of the conversation that we're seeing, right, we don't know how long it takes them to tape.
Right.
But what we're seeing is that you're just focused on the number one, and someone's going to have to explain and try to get out of a situation of who they feeling. Then I think that's where it becomes a problem.
Right.
Enjoy your date. Mm-hmm. Hey, are you feeling me?
Right.
Is there a connection
That's
between
the important question.
us? But when we get caught up on thinking, who you seeing?
That's the important question.
Especially with Stacey and Chrysanthemum.
Right.
Oh, I got it right.
Because you did. High five.
Because I thought I was going to keep calling her Chris. See, because, they're supposed to be besties now.
Right.
So she's like, are you picking me?
Or are you picking Chrysanthemum?
Are you picking me? Are you picking her? Like, chill out.
Right. So, Stacey makes a couple of mistakes in this date, in my opinion. One is the pressing on who's your number one.
Right.
But also, yes, she, I guess, as we see, they call them freaking frack. Mm-hmm. So Stacey and Chrysanthemum have become best buddies, best friends, what have you.
Correct.
Which I'm a little suspect of becoming best friends, best buddies in this short of a time. But that's the case, fine. But you're in an environment where you know that they're dating other people. You know that they're seeing other people. So why even bring up her name?
Right. I'm not bringing up my best friend or not. I'm worried about me. At the end of the day, I want to get my man. Nobody else's man. I'm trying to get my man. And right now, everybody's open fish.
Listen, if I was in this environment and I had, one of my boys,
right,
whether long term or not, we were digging the same person, you know what? And we were in this environment where it's like, we know that there's still this dating around, what have you. Then you know what? My boy is my boy, but if you're my number one or you're the one I'm interested in pursuing,
correct.
I'm not going to break bro code and be like, look, his feet really smell or something like that, right? But I am going to make myself to be like, you know what, I'm the guy for you,
right?
And I'm not going to diss my friend,
right?
But I'm also not going to bring him up,
correct,
into the conversation because it doesn't matter. You're spending time with me.
You spend time with me.
So that's just my thoughts, right? So then we have KG and Amber.
Yes. They had yoga.
I like them as a couple.
Yeah, I think they're really mashing.
Yeah.
And, so they have the yoga and they're doing mantras, and, and exhaling.
Right.
And then they go to breakfast. Mm-hmm. And so he's really trying to figure out, hey, this is my thought process. Right. What's your thought process on this and long-term relationships? Yep. And, does it have to be focused on getting married or could we be in a long... So they seem to be on the same page concerning that. And I think he's really digging her and really like, wow, okay, there is someone out here that's thinking like me.
Yes.
So I feel like they had a really good, strong connection on their date. I think we might see more of them.
Right.
But we want him. We got to have Chris moving.
I need Chris moving around.
He need to be mobile. You got to be mobile.
I need him, yes.
Just so he knows.
He has a great fit.
Right. Just so he knows
but
that
just
he's
make
not
sure that
missing
that's
out.
the real fit,
Right.
right?
Right.
I don't want
Because it's second try.
Right, because as Tommy said, look, there is no third chances. So
Thank you.
if Amber flips out and all of a sudden we find out something crazy about Amber that she, listen, KG, you just got to be on your own hitting Tinder or whatever some of the other
do it on your radio show.
Something.
Like have 10 women call up.
But I like KG and Amber as a couple. I think that I think that they're a good fit, a good mesh, right? Yeah. Then we see a triple date. We see Ron, Chris, Anthony, Tressa, Deidre, Joel, and Joelle. I think it's Joelle and Vernisha go on a date. Joelle and Vernisha seem to be vibing.
Really vibing, really got together. Yeah. And I'm concerned about him because it seems like everyone's keeps saying they're the couple, right?
Right.
And I'm concerned that he's not picking or dating other women that we can see, because, he's really focused on her story, the struggling single mother, which I get that. But yeah, there's other women there that have children. Why is he not taking the opportunity to get to know them as well? You know, because when we are so focused on people who make it through a struggle, but we don't see who they are, or what baggage they may or may not be bringing through that struggle. That could be a concern that he's not aware of, and he's not getting an opportunity to learn from the other women.
Yeah. And I do like them. He's another one that definitely needs to move around.
Just to be on the safe side.
Experience and see what else may be there.
Out there. Maybe you want to get away from the struggling single mother.
Right.
Maybe like I was saying, like Tressa might have been a good mate or partner for him because even though she doesn't have kids, maybe she can bring some freshness.
I think she has a kid, but her kid is older.
Okay, like a teenager.
I think the impression I got her, I think even in the first one, I think her kid is a bit older. So not the and we don't even know how old Vernisha's kids are.
No, we don't know.
We know Joelle's kids are probably about 8, 9, 10, somewhere in
they're
that
twins
time
as
frame.
well.
Right.
So, but at the same time, sometimes you might need to look something for a little freshness, and different things like that.
Again, this show is all about kind of exploring, right? Having the opportunity to date a few different types, do a few different people that may be outside of what your normal attraction, your normal perspective might be. So,
and it's easier when you're dating out of your comfort zone in this environment, because you can walk away without feeling like you know.
Right. You're not trapped into anything, although this conversation of are you the number one is an attempt to trap. But you're really set up an environment where it is the opportunity to explore. Yeah. So take advantage of it. And then Chrysanthemum and Ron kind of meet up and connect. And she is now talking about, well, am I your number one? Because I hear you telling Alexis that she's your number one.
So here they go. They're supposed to be experienced. Ron made this experience. He's the instructor, right? He's teaching salsa. It's supposed to be this sexy dance, and we're supposed to be getting to know each other. And you're focused on your girl. You're talking about, do you like Alexis?
Right.
What's going on with this? And blah, blah, blah. Again, so now he's getting flustered.
Right.
And frustrated.
Because a man does not really want to feel, he doesn't want to feel pressure unnecessarily.
Right.
And this is an unnecessary pressure. This is you're insecure. So now you're going to pressure me to make you feel secure.
Right.
Doesn't work. Right.
Right. And I think in her case, she should just be in the moment. Right. Enjoy the time that you have. You know, this is the opportunity, but then she didn't, she got an attitude. Right. She ain't want to dance no more. I'm like, you act like y'all like y'all just dating each other.
Like y'all been going for 12 months, whatever, right?
I'm like, they have to keep in their mind, this is a process, and he's going to be dating. And, he's looking for more from her, and he's not seeing it.
No, not at all. Not at all. And then Deidre and Tressa, we don't see them too much at the salsa, but then they go on a separate date as far as at the spice store, whatever.
Yes, this is their second.
I didn't know that there was spice stores like that
That must be a Houston or a cooking thing because he's a chef, right?
He is a chef, so he probably has the inside scoop on a lot of those things, right?
Right, which is cool,
Right. So they go spice shopping, and he makes the statement he's still feeling like it's a homie vibe.
Correct.
But her body language, I don't know that she was feeling him as well, because she kind of made. We talked about this. She kind of made the statement, or even in the impression that she's holding back to see what he does.
Right. And I think you're right. After I get to think about that a little bit, that maybe she wasn't really feeling him.
Yeah.
And it's okay. If you weren't feeling him, you weren't feeling him.
Right.
But this was your week to be eliminated. So
yep.
So if you wanted to stay on to be able to maybe date someone else.
Spoiler alert, she's gone, right?
To stay on for somebody else, you might at least give the impression that I want to get out of this homie vibe. Right. Because he's not the only one who stated this.
Yes.
And I think that's the thing that we have to make sure that, hey, we use that as a crutch to be comfortable, we got to be friends. If you're interested in somebody romantically, you got to step out and just give it a whirl.
Right.
You got to do what you need to do.
Yeah. I mean, I think, because, and the reason I say I don't think she was necessarily fully feeling him, because she kept calling him Pop Pop. That's not a romantic name. That's true. She's calling them that because if I remember correctly, he's a grandfather, right?
Right, he's a grandfather.
So yeah, my grandkids calling me Pop Pop, cool.
Right, but I don't want.
But the person who I'm dating,
to be
who I'm trying to figure out if there's a romantic connection, calling me Pop Pop, that doesn't work, right?
Right.
So I mean, we already spoiled it. She was one of the ones that was dismissed, told they were not ready to love.
Right.
And I think that part of it was, yes, she was protecting herself, protecting her feelings, what have you. But this is the environment. Shoot your shot.
Shoot your shot.
Shoot the shot.
If it's just about you saying, look, I'm a sexy woman. I am confident.
Right.
I am here to roar.
Listen.
Go ahead and let them know that. And I don't think she showed that.
Right.
This is a show where you're going to have to put your all into it.
Right. All right. And so then we have they go to the Masquerade ball, right?
Yeah. So there's a Masquerade ball.
And Alexis, of course, who has deemed herself fly. She says people call her fly. I'm still a little suspicious. Alexis, let us know. I need about 10 people to confirm that they call you fly and not you just calling yourself fly. But she says that she came to slay, but she didn't come to slay like Liz came.
Liz came with it.
Liz
says, you know what? I'm going to show you the other side of me.
Liz came with it.
So Liz decided, I don't know where she got this dress from, but Liz like, bam, I'm here. And every man in that place, tongue dropped to the floor.
Yeah.
Joel said he broke his neck. He said his neck still hurt after the ball.
Yeah. And I think part of it was such a different mold than we've seen Liz in. Liz is attractive, period, right?
Sure.
But it was like, okay, Liz has been a little muted, or conservative.
Conservative.
Maybe that's a better word, not muted,
right?
But more conservative, right? But with this dress and with the way she came to this Masquerade ball, it was like, okay, now I can see that there's more behind and more to this woman. So I think we were talking, I appreciate the fact, because Liz was like, look, I'm going to give you my spirituality. I'm going to give you my intellect. I'm going to give you those questions that really, what are you looking for? What are the things that, are good for you? What have you?
Right.
And then I'm going to show you what I'm working with.
Right. Exactly. And I think sometimes you need to hold back at the beginning.
Yes.
And don't give so much at the beginning. I think that's where women seem to falter a little bit, is because they give so much at the beginning. So the man doesn't have any surprises. He's not, you're not giving him time to peel back layers. Right. When you just bust it open.
Tease a brother a little, right?
Right,
She'll look back.
Right. And then hold back a little bit.
Right.
Don't
hold back too far and too much. But there is this this balance,
it's
right?
a balance, because this is where Jason comes out. I'm like, well, hold on. Right. I just gave up Alexis, but I think I done found somebody else.
Yeah.
And then
Jason shoots his shot.
He does. Sure. He pulls her to the side. He describes how he felt, what he saw when he seen her.
He called her his Michelle Obama.
I hear you. So, I mean, he's trying to say that he's a successful man who needs a successful woman beside him.
Get it.
You know, sophisticated, grown.
But she a CEO, so.
She is.
She a CEO. All right.
So handle your business.
Listen, and you know, of course, David was, you know, his strong connection with
Right.
Liz, and she feels a strong connection with
Correct.
him. But she's also questioning maybe Jason
could be the one,
because again, she's recognizing I'm not going to get locked into one person off the top. Let's see what else is out there and available, right? And then we see the full on-screen display of Frickin' Frack.
Yes.
AKA Stacey and Chris Anthem.
Yes. So here we go, right? They coming up together. Now, poor Stacey, she had a little bit too much.
The brown liquor was hitting her good.
You know, and so they're talking to the fellas together, and you know, Tommy's pulling them aside, say, "Hey, how's it going?" He's like, they're like, this has become one person.
Right.
It's no longer Stacey and Chrysanthemum.
They're just one. They you see them, they're together. And in the clips that we saw, again, we recognize that clips can be misleading, or they can just give part of the context or part of the story. Absolutely, we get that. But we see that they are together. And so it's like, I can't have a conversation with you because the other person is there. Mm-hmm. And because of how Stacey, in my opinion, comes across, mm-hmm. Stacey comes across as that friend, as that person who is going to interject into the conversation.
Right.
And so, you know, and I think part of also is that when you have what we saw as far as with Ron, where you get both of them having the same conversation at different times, it's a little off-putting, right?
Right. You know, I think this is supposed to be their moment where they're supposed to be getting to know the guys.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if y'all want to have an after party and hang out,
right.
do that. At the after party.
Right.
But at the party, you trying to get a dude.
Right.
You trying to get someone to notice you.
And dudes are trying to get to know you.
Right. So I'll see you later.
We friends and all, but listen.
Tonight, we'll take the same Uber. But for now, I'm trying to see if I can find, you know, a good relationship. Someone I can be in relationship with.
So, and so, you know, we also see Ron in this, at the ball. He's having a conversation with Chris Anthem. And Alexis comes in and he's like, and heads right over to Alexis, right? Might have been a little cold-blooded, might have been a little rude, but again, if I can't have a conversation with you without feeling pressure or feeling some kind of way, then I don't want to be around that.
Right. You know, and Alexis and Ron have been talking on the phone. My understanding. Mm-hmm. Daily they have a good conversation. He's saying like, okay, these are conversations that people in relationship have when they're talking every day. So he's feeling like this person is really listening to him and giving him more, where he's indicating that Chrysanthemum is just surfacey. He's like, I'm not getting any depth from this woman. So I don't know if she is going to stay my number one, because I'm getting some depth from Alexis.
Yep. All right, so then the fellows, of course, have their conversation with Tommy.
Yes.
And, you know, it really comes as no surprise. I predicted it. Listen, Will Packer needs to go ahead and put me on staff, because I am predicting. I predicted, 3 of the eliminations. Now, there's some weeks that there were double eliminations. I didn't call the doubles, but I at least predicted one of the parties. And if you go back to last week's, I did predict that Stacey would be one of the ones to go.
Yep.
She met with David, and it was interesting because David was the one who she had the bad date with at Pilates.
Yeah.
But she makes the statement, and I really took kind of issue with it. Mm-hmm. She basically saying it was unfair. Mm-hmm. And then she said that she let her kids down who were expecting her to go pick a husband.
Yeah, I thought that was kind of odd. You know, I feel like genuinely it has to be about you and that person, that you know, that partner first. and then your kids come in.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, your kids are leaving the house.
Right.
And they're not going to be there full time. You're going to be there full time with that man.
Exactly.
You know, I've never been a single mother and getting married or dating, but I have been a child to a single mother who was dating and decided to remarry. You know, and my mom asked, in my opinion, you know, I'm like, he seemed cool, but guess what? I ain't gonna be here.
Right.
I'm not planning to live with y'all forever to be put up with this man. You know, so this is your thing. If you want to be with him, you're gonna be with him the rest of my life. Right. I'm moving on. I'm gonna see him occasionally. Right. So,
you know, and then I think it also is like she's going to go pick a husband. So it was almost like she gives the impression she's going to the grocery store, going down aisle 5, and like, okay, this is the husband that I want. When
I think she maybe was thinking it was a business venture,
and that's kind of what she treated it like.
Yeah,
you know?
And I'm thinking even her manner or the way it seemed like it came off more business than fun. You know, I think when you take the fun out of, like, I'm dating, I'm trying to finally find connection,
getting to know people, experiencing the experience, right?
Yeah.
So so Stacey is gone, and now Tressa is gone as well. She met with Joelle, and she's gone. And I think, you know, again, I think that we talked about Tressa as far as just that homie vibe type thing, right?
Yeah, and getting out of that space,
right?
You know, being that confident woman that you are, full figure or not. There's men that love full figure women, and so we need to stop making the excuses that they're not. Yeah. Because there are men out there that like that. I think men are more attracted to a confident woman, and they find that sexy.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that's kind of, I think she kind of self-sabotaged in some respects. Not saying it's all on her.
No.
But I think that in some respects, maybe her giving off homie vibes may have been a self-sabotage in some respects, in that she was feeling like, you know, I'm a full-figure girl, what have you. And because she made a few statements, right? And comedian. So it's just a few things that it was like, maybe that's the case. Again, we are amateur psychoanalysts.
Well, see, and the other comedian from the other season did the same thing. Right. They were saying people always give the homie vibes, you know. She was a tall woman, you know. So I don't know if it's because of them being, that they are the laughter, the center of the attention.
And being on stage. And
being on stage. Right. How do you change that to me being
turning that off?
Yeah, being turning just off the more performance level.
All right. So next week we begin to see, it looks like Tommy gives them the assignment of kind of stepping outside their comfort zone, which I think will be good for folks like AJ or KJ,
right?
And like Joelle.
Someone you haven't talked to.
Someone you haven't maybe given a shot.
Correct.
Maybe you'll discover something. So we'll see. Anything else?
No.
All right, that's it. Well, listen, we appreciate you guys. We'll see you next time. Have a great one. Be blessed.
Bye.